if I told you that you could experience the stomach-dropping sensation that usually accompanies roller coasters in the comfort of your own home? Peter Rubin, a writer for Wired magazine, has said that the research and development in virtual reality, there's been more virtual reality software created in the past 20 years, and there's been more virtual reality software created in the past year than in the past 20 years combined. Virtual reality will gradually become a large part of our society and will impact your life whether you want it to or not. As someone who has had a passionate love for gaming, I've had my eyes on the virtual reality technology since it was first announced. Since then, I've conducted a large amount of research and concluded that the ability to own this technology is already here. Virtual reality will dramatically change the world in a positive but also a negative manner. Therefore, the awareness of its applications and potential uses should be heightened. First, I will discuss the negative and positive applications of virtual reality. Then, I will address the effects that it will have on society. And lastly, I will inform you of why the awareness is important. Now that I have given you insight on the topic, I would like to shed light on the exciting and life-changing applications of virtual reality. When I was first learning to drive, I used the driving simulator on the computer, and I thought, this will definitely prepare me properly for the real experience. My mom immediately saw flaws in my logic, and the first thing she said was, "You can't see out of your peripheral vision." I said, "No, look, I can push this button, look left, right behind me." She said, "No, but you can't actually look right and left to see around you like when you're actually driving a car." Virtual reality will allow you to do this. You'll be able to look down at your virtual character's feet or up at the sky or behind you. So it's completely different. It'll be a 3D perspective instead of just a 2D perspective that we're used to on computer monitors and televisions. Additionally, haptic technology caters to your sense of touch. And that's something that Eric Lang described as a really neat way to draw your attention to a certain place on the screen without pointing a giant arrow at it. So the entertainment possibilities of virtual reality are pretty endless. We're talking rides that are so thrilling, they're not safe in real life. Playing sports, watching sports, attending museums with interactive exhibits, art galleries, video games, driving simulators, flying simulators, the list goes on. I highly recommend looking for videos online of people's reactions to these things because they're already out there and it's pretty cool to see how amazed people are. While there are many entertainment applications, there are also serious applications that can be used to benefit society. When I said it will impact your life whether you want it to or not, these are the kinds of applications that I was thinking about. Some of the serious applications include military training, education, business, engineering, healthcare, and even media broadcasting. Frank Bianca said that virtual reality is really the next best thing to being there. So you can think of it as, someone experiencing something on the other side of the world. You can go into virtual reality and essentially have an interview with them and really just feel a whole other level of what's going on, which is pretty cool. So training people will increase the progression and success in such fields, which is pretty game-changing. And now that I've discussed the applications, I would like to go into the negative and positive effects that virtual reality will have on society. My personal favorite positive effect is that we have access to an entirely new level of fun in our homes. Secondly, the training without consequences. So think about surgery. Doctors going into surgery and there's no consequence of death, and they can just start the simulation over whenever they want. There's also military training with flying, shooting, and parachuting. They can just do that over and over without wasting time going up in the airplane, wasting fuel, and having to jump. So while there are many positive while the positive effects outweigh the negative effects, it's still important to focus on the negative effects. Computers have been fighting for our attention for a while. Like, as you can see, people are generally on their phones all the time. Virtual reality is going to present society with an addiction that many people won't be ready for. Dehumanization is a major consequence. I would say that the people that you surround yourself with are an important part of just staying in touch with your reality and staying healthy. So it's really our responsibility as humans to make sure that we stay strong in that sense. But with the integration of virtual reality, the interaction is inevitably going to decrease because the ability to live in a fantasy world is now something that's actually attainable. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to just stay there. Now that I've addressed the negative and positive influence on society, I want to stress the importance of awareness. People need to be more informed of the potential negative and positive uses of virtual reality in order to focus on the positive side. So they've already released development kits for developers to create software which will be used with this technology. Additionally, it's also important that people are aware of the addiction and people are aware of ways to regulate the use. Because as I said before, there's inevitably going to be a share of people that are going to want to just spend more and more time in virtual reality and they'll never want to leave. So all individuals, especially parents, are going to want to be aware of this addiction. By now, you're well informed of the ups and downs of virtual reality and hopefully understand the impacts on society. I discussed the applications, the negative and positive influences, and I informed you why awareness was important. My goal here today was to spark your interest, and I hope I did that, so that you can all share in my excitement for the